Hello, Renee Flamand here. This video is about the separation in our brain that we have of how they treated us this way and they treated us that way. We're just going to some good and bad. We're going to call them good and bad. Okay? We always say details don't matter. You have your love bombing details, I have mine. You have your devalue details, I have mine. For right now, we'll call it good and bad, okay? When I started, it's a tough thing we deal with in perpetuity, I think, is trying to make sense of them treating us these two opposite ways. You could be out of your relationship for 3 years. You still marvel at how could they have treated me two different ways, right? I always tell you I'll share with you a way that I started to think about something that helped me. So that's kind of where we are now. I started to think about, I started to realize how insane the dual behaviors were when I would compare the narcissist to other people I knew. And I started to do that quietly, probably while I was still in the relationship. Definitely while I was still in the relationship. What am I saying? Compare your narcissist to your favorite couple that you know, or your top few favorite couples. And as a tool to help close it's cognitive dissonance that we're trying to close. Think of Friends. Cognitive dissonance is your knowledge of what happened versus what actually did happen. Your thoughts of how things were going with what just happened and how things were actually going. The separation. We're in disbelief. What they say versus their behavior. There's a dissonance with this whole area. And it's confusing to work out sometimes. Looking at other couples helped me begin to even see it. If you're still in the place that you're just like, I just can't picture or understand. If you think of another couple, you say to yourself, would they ever do that to them? Or would he have done that to her? Would she have done that to him? You begin to train your brain to realize just how absurd the narcissist's happenings with you have been. And we struggle to meld that with the person we thought they were. Because you say to yourself, oh my God, if your friend's wife did X, Y, Z, there's no way that would have continued. Or you would even advise them to leave. Or you just understand, you don't understand how your narcissist can have this dual behavior. And you're confused as to why. If it were to happen in your friend's relationship, one thing that your narcissist did to you, you'd be confused why there wasn't a huge fight and separation. Yet, we convince ourselves to stay with our narcissist with the same infraction we envisioned upon our friends, knowing that would have probably ended your friends. Or certainly made one of them walk out. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, in other words, we don't think of it in a comparative nature. We like to keep it in a little vacuum so that we don't have to face realities like that. But remember, every step of the process was manipulation. Every step. So the narcissist was treating us the whole time. Treating us. Treating good, treating bad, acting, demonstrating with calculation, treating. Not being, not feeling, not acting. I mean, not genuinely acting because they feel or think these ways. They were treating it. The whole time, it's all the same person that is doing the good treating in the beginning and the bad treating now. Think that through. It's not that they started treating us badly. They were treating the whole time. Even in the beginning with the nice behavior, that was a setup. That was treating us nice. And now they're treating us bad. It's that part of the cycle. Close that dissonance and let your mind rule into the fact, let your eyes rule, let your ears rule, let your heart tries to hold on to, I think, this good treatment as a person who treated you with goodness, right? Like that good treatment is because he was a person treating me with goodness. A person treating you with genuine goodness would probably be a genuinely good person. It wouldn't be a calculated move. This was a person executing treatment to sell you something. Executing treatment of somebody that treats somebody good. Executing the treatment that he picked up in a movie or a book, or listen to things you say you like, or watching friends with their partners. He's mimicking being the perfect person so that you now feel that good treatment. You bought it. So we fight to keep it. We don't want to see it crumble. We bought this wonderful thing that they sold us. We bought it. So we're conflicted, and we want to think of the good as being good, not as part of a plan. The dissonance will start to close once you realize that the good was manipulation as well, and therefore it was as bad as the bad as well. It's not that they treated you, again, we'll just use the words good and bad. They treated you good, they treated you bad. It's not that, no. They changed, no, the whole thing was just an equal treatment to them. They don't look at it like they were in love over here and you changed, so they got mad and they're treating you bad. Oh no, that's not what happened. The whole thing was manipulation from the beginning. I'm so sorry to tell you that. But that's how calculated they go through life. They pick who they want, they go in, they're like a hunter. You're the prey. They got you. Now they're going to go through this cycle. It unfolds with every person they know in some form or another. You know, to think of it as a con is awful. It cuts through your heart because then you think, you know, wow, so he was just a con artist. So I don't use the word con a lot, but essentially that's what happened. They conned us. They didn't treat us two different ways. It was one huge bad way. It's just that the beginning part of the entire bad, huge way was disguised with some wonderful behaviors they took on to bestow upon you to make you think that you were being treated good. Good, bad. Good, right? They wanted to make you feel like you were being treated well so that you could rest in that comfortable feeling for when they needed it. That's the feeling that you're going to chase during times of bad treatment. That's the feeling they're going to rely on for you to eat crow, say you're sorry, chase them. You could be the person that was found something out and you'll find that all turned around. That's because you're seeking, you really want that good treatment back. It was so good, you want that back. It keeps us there. And you know, again, think of others that you know. Clarity and making sense of it all is helped greatly by just looking at it differently. I think of the entire thing now as a play. I think of it as a play. So I'm a big theater goer since I was a teenager, so maybe that's why. But you think of it however you want, as a rap album, as a country album. I don't care, but it's a play. This is how the beginning. It was the screenplay was he was going to act this way, Then the screenplay was things started to bother him, whatever the heck happened, and he was going to act this way. Then, oh, I showed a little strength. He has to really kick in the meanness now. Oh, he's going to fake he misses me to see if he can get, now he's going to act this way. Like, I think of it as a play with all different sections. But it's all acting is how I view it now. And I view anything that he bestows upon anybody as an act. Any story he told me about an ex, any new supply he's going through, I now know that's all he does is act through life. Emphatically. With fervor. Makes you believe. This poor girl, whoever he's with now, whatever's going on, I'm sure he's with somebody. I feel so bad. Because he'll make that person believe. That's what they do. That's what they're out to do. It's not that they're treating you, oh, he treats me so well, you don't know what he does. They're probably moves that he has for everybody. Things that he does, things that he says. They're not even unique to us half the time. What do you mean? He said my freckle was cute. Okay, I'm not saying they can't pick something about you that's unique. But you know what I'm saying. The part of the cycle that they are in with you will dictate how they're treating you. If they're in the middle of, in the bad part, and they want you to feel better, they're going to turn on the good guy and treat you that way for a little bit. All right, I tortured her enough. Let me just throw her a bone. Let me, I want to have a good night's sleep tonight. I don't want to hear her all night. Let me just have a nice hour-long, we'll eat and we'll laugh and it'll be put to bed for a while, this whole topic. They might do that and treat you, give you some of the good. They're using both as tools. It may even be their mood. They might be in a good mood for a week and treat you nicely. I mean, I don't know. That could happen. I'm not saying every single thing is a calculated move, but eventually a calculated move or feeling that they have something will drive them to misbehave. They don't go through life genuine. It's not their authentic selves that's with you. Do you know what I'm saying? So to be able to treat somebody in two totally different ways, that's duplicitous as heck. They go through life, all different people, depending on who they're with. They will mirror the people that they're keeping company with. They'll take on their personalities. They'll reflect back to those people what they think they want them to be. You follow what I'm saying? Many of us have worked for years on being our authentic selves. I'm exactly who I am now. If my mother was here, my daughter, anybody, I'm exactly who I am no matter who's around. That takes a lot to identify and be able to do that and be that way in life. Most people shape-shift at least a little bit. At least a little bit. The narcissist does to the nth degree. Nth degree. So not only can they become two people with you, they could be two people with somebody else, two people with somebody else, two people with somebody else. It's a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of people. And they got to keep all that up. Woo! Can you imagine? Oh my God, I would be so tired. I just find it easier to be my authentic self. I don't say that as a pat on the back, although I do think I think it's the way to go. I think it's the easiest way to go. I think it's the most comfortable for everybody around you. If everyone were honest, and I don't mean like some comedy movie where everyone did, no. But for the most part, I think it would cut down on a lot of hurt feelings. A lot of lying. A lot of bad intentions might be revealed if they were just honest. So I've learned to be who I am. I'm comfortable with who I am. Okay? I like how I was right. I know what's right and what's... I think I have a good... I like who I am. So I think I've landed in a spot where I can offer my authentic person to everybody because I'm proud. I'm proud of who I am. I think I'm a good person. I know I have a good heart. Do you know what I mean? They don't. They have self-hatred. So they have to mask that. There's no pride in their person for themselves or self-respect, right? There's no self-love. So they have to now act like somebody else eventually they're going to mistreat that. They have different parts of their personality that are going to mistreat people and then cater to people and then mistreat people, and they don't even know who they are. They just use that angle to get what they want from people. It's very sad. I think it's to have a path determined for me that's so bleak by this kind of being a slave, to not be able to know who you are and how you want to be to people, I think it's sad for them. I don't mean I'm crying. I mean, that's got to be one tough life. They'll never, ever get it right and be able to land in one spot where they just treat somebody well for the rest of time. And there's never any bad treatment for the person to reconcile, coming from the person that just gave them this phenomenal treatment. It is something hard to get your brain wrapped around, but it's just how they go through life. It's hard for us to wrap our brain around it because we're not built that way. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that I'm always like this. If I got mad, I get mad. It's just me getting mad. I'm still me. I don't change into a different person. This guy, these people, they're different people with different people. They don't even know who they are. And they go through cycles that dictate their behavior should be good or bad or somewhere in between. What a mess! What a mess. So we don't have to make sense of it because it's not our mess anymore. It's not. It's not something you have to take on or keep on keeping on with. You don't have to worry about it anymore. It's not in your life if you're no longer with them. It is their burden to carry. And that is a heavy way to go through life. Don't worry about it. It's not your problem. And you won't fix them. So, to try to make sense of how they give us this dual treatment, that inner conflict you feel, try to think of others you know. It can help. And it can bring some clarity and help you close the gap on making sense of what you think are two different treatments and make you realize it's all the same. It was all bad. The beginning was bad too. Just because, like I said, it was wonderful doesn't mean it wasn't bad. It was manipulation. It was all bad treatment. All the treatment was bad. The good was bad too because it was manipulation. It was all bad treatment. One person doing the same thing. All bad.